YouTubers like MrBeast and the Sidemen are taking their old videos and updating the thumbnails in an attempt to get more views. But this has got me thinking, does this actually work? Now, I've changed my thumbnails before. For example, this recent video, after publishing, I thought maybe my face and the play button were a bit dark, so I updated it to this. Definitely a little bit better. And one of my most famous videos, the MrBeast space video, this is the current thumbnail, but originally I had a little astronaut Jack floating about. But a couple of hours after releasing the video, I thought, why the hell have I done that? Get out of here. But yes, anytime I've updated a thumbnail, it's always been within the first couple of days of that video being released. I've never gone back years later like I'm going to do today. So I've selected a bunch of my old videos with questionable thumbnails, and I'm going to go through and optimize those thumbnails, starting with this monstrosity. This is a video where I received my Jack Sucks at Life 1 million subscriber play button, so it should have been a pretty big deal on my channel. And we put quite a bit of effort into it. We even recorded a little weird montage at B&Q car park with the play button.
Yeah, right, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
But that video 3 years on only has 264,000 views, which is way lower than my average play button video. And I can't help thinking that this thumbnail is partly responsible. It is just ugly, let's be honest. Like, there is too much going on there. So some of these thumbnails, I'm only going to tweak certain things. This one, I'm just starting from scratch. But firstly, we need to check how this video is currently doing so we can compare later. So in the last 28 days, it has received 322 views. It's got me 1 extra subscriber and even 58 pence. So I should have a suitable picture to start, and that is this one here. Originally, this was taken for my YouTube news episode, but I should be able to Photoshop a gold play button in here and it'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the background. There we go. Let's get the big light into position. Now, these days, most of my thumbnails have a background like this one to match my blue colors behind me. But when this particular video was released, my background was more this kind of color, which isn't as nice, but if we crank up the vibrance, it might make it look, oh, a bit too much. Yeah, you know what, why not? I'm aware it still looks weird, but bear with me. Now I'm just gonna make myself look less washed out. Yeah, that looks okay, and now we need to do the difficult bit, which is shove a gold play button here. Now I have a picture of my gold play button, but I am in the background, so we'll need to sort that out. Some may say it would have been easier to just take a picture of myself with the gold play button, but I'm clearly in too deep now. Just need to cut around my fingers, and now watch this. Wow, it's like magic. I'm gonna clean everything up so it looks great, don't worry. I am also aware that it's a continuity error that I'm wearing glasses because I did not have glasses when this video came out. But if anything, that should just create more intrigue and therefore give us the extra views that I so crave. I'm gonna make this even more goldy. Ooh, it's gone kind of green. Maybe I need to calm down. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's just take away some of that green. Yeah. Next, I need to remove myself from the reflection. The way I normally do this is I grab another portion of the play button and I just put it behind it and then add a shadow to the diamond, and it always ends up looking quite nice. Turn up the vibrance a bit there. Yeah. Oh yes, I think adding a shadow to the whole play button will probably look quite nice. And then I'm just doing a manual shadow under my hands to make that look real. Same thing to this one. Lovely. No Jack Sucks at Life thumbnails ever complete without a pointless arrow. And before you know, you've got a thumbnail which is much better than this one. I'm not claiming that this is anything revolutionary, but it is definitely an improvement compared to the original. So let's upload the new one. There it is. And we click save and we see how it does in a month's time. Now next I want to test a hypothesis, and that is MrBeast tweeting out that since closing his mouth in his thumbnails, his views have gone up. Now this seems really weird, but I've got a great opportunity to test it with one of my most popular videos ever. Now as I said, I have tweaked this thumbnail before. Originally it looked like this, and even for about an hour I simplified it even more to look like this. But I think it definitely makes more sense having Jimmy in the thumbnail. But let's close his mouth. So this is the thumbnail where I got the face from originally, but now his mouth is closed. Now I've still got the original Photoshop file, so I should be able to just slide this face out and then bring in the new one. Oh, I think I lined the blur up perfectly with his beard, so I'm gonna have to redo it all. Okay, there we go. I'm actually really interested to see how this one's impacted. So as we know, the video has had 7.4 million views in total, but in the last 28 days, it has had 241,000. So let's upload the new thumbnail and we can see what happens. I'm really interested in this one. Alright, next video is my can we get an emoji on a play button video, which as you can see, 2 million views, it did well. But perhaps there's more potential to unlock. This is the current thumbnail, but interesting interestingly, it isn't the original, and I'd just forgotten that I had altered it slightly. So this is what it looked like originally. Ooh. So spoiler alert, I did manage to get an emoji on a play button. As you can see, it's this cute little globe. So I put the matching globe on the play button, but then I realized a globe emoji is ironically not as globally recognized as an emoji compared to something like the heart or the laughing emoji. So I changed it to a laughing emoji, which I do think worked better. However, when you zoom out, it's all just quite light colored. So I'm going to change it to a fire emoji. Oh, this will surely look way more striking. Now, I didn't save the original Photoshop file, so we'll just do a little bit of this. There we go. Very nice. And now I just need to get the fire emoji into place. Try and change the angle on it slightly. Yes. Now, with the laughing emoji, I kind of whacked up the brightness a bit so it looked more real. But this time, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I want it to stand out. I think that stands out better. So let's get it updated. Save. For reference, currently this video has had 21,000 views in the last 28 days. Okay, I've now gone ahead and done 3 more thumbnails for 3 quite similar videos. The first one was a video talking about the most liked comments on YouTube, and Dream was very popular when this originally released, and as he has a comment with over 1 million likes, he made it into the thumbnail. Also, why is it so yellow, Jack? It's a very gross shade of yellow too. I don't know what happened there. So I've modernized it a lot. The thumbnail now looks like this. We've got modern glasses wearing Jack, and I thought I'd create a bit of intrigue with a mystery comment from one of the YouTube founders. The video did well at the time, but right now it's had only 5,000 views in the last 28 days. So it's definitely time to get this updated. Save. Next, I did a video talking about the biggest YouTubers that have ever commented on one of my videos. And once again, Dream and the disgusting shade of yellow make it into the thumbnail. Dream's one of my subscribers, so that's why he made it in. But now I've changed it to something much juicier. Ooh. MrBeast has commented on my videos before, but I will be honest, he did not comment sub for sub 9 years ago. But the viewers don't need to know that. Also, it's only got 6 likes. That creates even more intrigue. I'd be clicking on this if I saw this in my suggested. This video is performing even more poorly with only 1.8 thousand views in the last 28 days. So I do think this new thumbnail will have a good chance of making a difference. And finally, I did a video talking about my most liked comments. Yes, I know these are all very similar videos, okay, but they were spread out over a long time. But anyway, this was the thumbnail, and it's yellow. It's a nicer shade of yellow, but it's still very yellow. Jack, what are you doing with all the yellow? What's the yellow for, Jack? These days, I actually do have the 30th most liked comment on YouTube. So let's take a look at the new thumbnail. This time, I decided to keep the face, but I just made everything else much easier to see. And I've got the new profile picture. I've got an accurate number of likes, the modern blue. Maybe actually I'll whack up the contrast a bit. Yeah, there we go. This video did pretty good at the time, but currently is only getting 4,000 views a month. So let's get the thumbnail updated. That is now 6 classic videos with brand spanking new thumbnails. I'm very excited to see what happens, so we're going to give it a month, and hopefully in 28 days time, the rate at which these videos are getting views will have increased tremendously. Alright, who wants to find out if the rate at which these videos are getting views has increased tremendously? I know I do. I've gathered all of the data, and what if I told you that one of the videos has received a 900% increase in views? But I've also had a bunch of stinkers, so we'll go through the stinkers first. Starting with my most liked comment video. So this was the original thumbnail, and this is the new one. So this time a month ago, the video had 4.7 thousand views in the last 28 days. And 28 days later, with the new thumbnail, it's about the same, 4.5 thousand views. But you will see, take a look at the original stats, it says 46% less than the previous 28 days, whereas now the increase is only 5% less. So potentially you could argue that this 2-year-old video that is slowly getting less and less views each month, since updating the new thumbnail, we've slightly slowed down the rate at which this video is slowing down. So I'll take that as a win. Next, we did the video about the most liked comments on all of YouTube. So this is the original thumbnail, and this is my updated one. The updated one is definitely better in my opinion. This time a month ago, we were getting 5.7 thousand monthly views, and in the last 28 days, it's had even less, 4.4 thousand. But just like the previous one, we've slowed down the rate at which it's slowing down. It went from a pretty big 72% to just 23%. So we're still doing stuff. These are old videos. It's well over 2 years old, okay? I think that we had a very small impact, but so far, changing thumbnails has proved not to be worth it. So far. Now let's move on on to a bigger video, something that's still getting hundreds of thousands of monthly views. It is, of course, our closed mouth experiment, the Mr. Beast space video. A month ago, this video received 241,000 views in the last 28 days, which was 56% less than the previous 28 days, which is 2 months ago now. And now with an open mouth, it's gone down again. All 3 of my new thumbnails have received less views than the previous month. But once again, we've gone from 58% less to just 14% less. So I think we're having an impact, but we're only having so much of an impact. Basically, it's the same as taking a bag of flour and pouring it upside down and all the flour falls everywhere. What I've done is I've taken a bag of flour, but I've put a sieve there and then I've tipped it all upside down. The flour's all still ended up at the bottom, but it took slightly longer to get there. Does that make any sense? I'm not sure. Now, interestingly, after I recorded the first bit of this video, I decided I'd close another Mr. Beast mouth. So I took my hiding in thumbnails video and changed the thumbnail to this. And this is where things turn around for me, because a month ago, this was the stats on this video. 68k, lots of down arrows. But now, a month later, with a closed mouth, 83k, up arrow, still a down arrow on that one actually, but up arrows everywhere else. We've had our first increase. Changing a thumbnail has actually given me more views than if I hadn't changed the thumbnail. And it does not end there, because remember the first thumbnail that I changed, this terrible ugly thumbnail from like 4 years ago? Well, back then this video was getting a measly 300 views per month, and since changing it to this slightly better thumbnail, which is still not great, but at least it's better, I am now getting 500 views in the last 28 days. Which, yes, that's not many views, but it is a 75% increase. So if you imagine that on a large scale, that's gonna have a big impact. Was it worth the 15 minutes I spent photoshopping that new thumbnail to get 93 pence? I'm not sure it was. But anyway, it does not end there, because next we did a subtle change to my emoji video. You can see I changed the emoji to a nicer looking flame. Last month we had nothing but down arrows. This video was slowing down, 21k in the last 28 days, with a 73% decrease. Very sad. But since doing a tiny change, which took me just a couple of minutes, we now have 2 big up arrows and a lovely little tick. That is a 21% increase on the previous 28 days. I will take it. That is very encouraging to see, and I think that was the right move. Alright, it is finally time for our final thumbnail, and this is my biggest success story. So this was the Who's the Biggest YouTuber to comment on one of my videos. This was the original thumbnail, and this is the new one. Much jazzier, very promising. A month ago, this video was getting just 1.8 thousand views per month. We got lots of down arrows, lots of sad statistics. But now here we are a month later with just a thumbnail change, 18.9 thousand views, which represents a 978% increase. You can see by the stats that there is no sign of this slowing down. This could be an extra 1,000 views a day for me for the foreseeable future. We've had a over 1,000% increase in subscribers. Our watch time's got up. I've made 66 quid. Last month I was making £6.99. Who knew that adding Mr. Beast to thumbnails gives you views? I sure didn't. I've never done that. That's news to me for sure. Hi guys, quick update. Since Becky started editing, this video has popped off even more. Look at that spike. It got 18,000 views just yesterday, which is equal to the 18,000 views it got in the last month when I recorded the segment you've just watched. Absolutely crazy. So what have we learned here? Does changing thumbnails potentially give you more views? Yes, absolutely. Every single video in this experiment has either gained more views than it did in the previous month, or it has at least slowed down the rate at which it is slowing down on gaining views, which I understand is difficult to understand. Now, could we have had even more success? Absolutely. I'm not that great at making thumbnails. I think there are lots of people out there that would have been able to do a better job at this, and potentially I need to hire some of them. We also could have changed titles, which I didn't touch at all, but I think going forward, this is definitely something I'm going to look into more. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this experiment. What do you want to see me trial next? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you all later.